Pounders, we are back, and oh my God, is NFL season coming close? But we have a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. All you got to do is go down, drop a sub if you're new to the channel, hit the like in the video so we could reach more people. And we're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream before NFL kickoff. Little housekeeping, free best ball draft guide. If you guys aren't taking advantage of this, completely free for the YouTube subscribers, just updated at 44% fill rate for BBM4. This is located in our Discord channel. 7 player write-ups. I fully recommend you taking advantage of that. Today, we're going to be drafting a $75 Pitbull. Going to be covering some training camp news, as well as going to be taking a look at 4for4's risers and fallers for the last week on Underdog. And real quick, Jalen Hyatt, he's up 23 spots. Mims up 13, and this is continuing to rise. Ross up 12. Gus Edwards up 8.5, but he actually left practice today with an injury. So that's something interesting to note. I haven't seen anything disclosed on what the injury was, just that he didn't partake in team drills today. Brutal. Hunter Henry up 7.5 spots to 204. He should be going before this. But yeah, definitely these top 3 are to note. Mims definitely going before 150 in sharper rooms. Hyatt, he had a quiet 2 days of practice, so maybe people start to back off again. Who knows? Hunt visiting with Indy. Oh, man. Our Kendre Miller shares. Are safe. They're safe for now. But, man, was that scary. That was a scary visit there, which is like, you know, Kareem Hunt, he can make an impact in the red zone and on third down. So, Chase Claypool, I think, pulled a hammy today in practice. Not a huge concern there. Let's get you guys like out of my brain. Let's back it up a little bit here. And yeah, let's pull up a couple training camp notes that I took on the side before I jumped in. Big one, Rashad Bateman. He's back, baby. He's on the field. So if you're drafting Rashad Bateman at the ADP, I know there's a little scare because you're giving up a lot. That range that he goes in, it's right around like Sutton, and Sutton right now he's being steamed up. He's having a great camp. So mixing in some Sutton makes sense right now. Doing that over Tony still. Bateman, Njoku with another touchdown in practice today. Penny slowly getting steamed up. Like in Best Ball Mania, when I think about like ADP starts and Gibson starting around 130, like I would make a small change and probably just draft Penny in this situation. AJ Dillon's the one that hasn't changed a whole lot, though. If you're truly worried about closing line value, I know Penny actually went decently late. Ben, what's going on? We got both Bens in the chat. Chris, Fantasy Football Garage, what's going on, fellas? We are going to be jumping in to a $75 pity pretty soon here. Let's see what else we got. We had some interesting things happen in practice today. And honestly, the injuries are the biggest thing to note. That's going to make the biggest impact. I know there's another one. Jeff Wilson. Oh, dear. And this just has ramifications all over the field. Like, now, A-Chain, does he have a bigger role? Mostert, I think the Jeff Wilson injury is still unknown at this point. Leaves with an injury, undisclosed. Damn. I know a lot of pounders have been targeting just the running back that goes last in this offense, and that seems like the best idea. If it's a serious injury, does this now make Miami want to target Dalvin even more? You know what I mean? Like, is this the only reason they needed to be like, all right, let's pull the trigger. Let's get Dalvin in here. So I think that's definitely a possibility for Miami. And it was always a possibility anyways. Let me pull this up. Quentin Johnston, 2 touchdowns. He's been killing it in practice. I think like he already has that role over Palmer too. So where he's at is ADP. I think he's actually very interesting. I'm trying to mix in more Quentin Johnston. Let's see what else. Claypool injury. I think that is a hammy as well, but still not 100% there on Claypool. But I know I haven't been mixing him in that much at the end. And DJ Moore's the clear number one target over there. But Claypool going, near 200, after 200, like as a red zone threat, if it's correlated with Fields or whatever, a bring back, I don't hate it. He's not my go-to guy, but he might be battling a hammy right now, which isn't the biggest deal. But we need to get this full. 8 people waiting on 8 for the Pitbull $75 draft. If you want to jump in this with us, let's retweet this real quick and let's see if we can get, plus 8. Did I ever? Yeah, I sent it out. Quote it. Plus 8. Get in here. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. The people are out. Plus 3. The people are out. Maybe another streamer, because we don't have that much influence. Maybe another streamer popped up. Tyler M. A-Chain's 5'9", 185. He'd get rocked. The thing is, like, Khalil Herbert's pretty close to that height and weight. Now, he got hurt last year, and I think Herbert is best where he's getting like 50% of the carries. We'll see. A-Chain a little smaller than Herbert, I believe, just a tad. James Young says reports are that Mike Williams is going to be used much more in the slot this year, and the Chargers plan on using QJ as the X. If this is true, he could be one of the steals of the draft. Just that offense in general wants to push the ball downfield. The fact that Mike Williams' ankle is completely made out of glass, it might not be the worst idea. I'd take a healthy Mike Williams, to be honest. At his ADP, I think it's fine. Absolute monster of a target. We're waiting on 2 people. This is going to be a fun one. I could feel it. A lot of pounders in this one. This will be a fun one. A little smaller than James Cook. Yeah, James Cook's nearing, 200 pounds, I believe. Yeah. Faster than both of them. The thing is, like, A-Chain, when you're drafting A-Chain, I fully expect to get 10 weeks of under 5 points. You're basically hoping for those 3 spike weeks, like massive spike weeks. Like you're hoping for 3 18 plus point games, and you're hoping that those come in the playoffs. Has Bijan been falling? Not in my drafts. I wish. And I think this is because of the FUD about him being last or whatever on the depth chart. But guys, take a look at the depth chart again. Like they have Cordell Patterson first. This is clearly like an earn it based off respect to the veterans basis of a depth chart. Like, I hope Bijan falls. I would love to get him at 11, 12. Even there would be huge. I would love that. Here for the content, but no draft from me. I'll be streaming one of these later tonight. Let's go. I'll take a peek. Oh, yeah, this is a Pounders draft if I've ever seen one. Ches, Brian, Vicky, new to the channel as of a few days ago. Dave, Steph, here at the 9 spot. Dave at 7. Let's go. We get the dreaded 5, which actually, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I think 6 is the worst spot in the draft. 6 or 7. Jason's in the 1 spot. The 111. I mean, the 11 spot. All right, this is gonna be a sharper room, which is fun. I like to draft in sharper rooms. Sometimes it's easier to get your stacks, your bringbacks. Now the sleeper picks, the people that are going way after they should be, or sometimes harder to grab. But we did a Pitbull last night. Was it a Pitbull? It might have been a BBM at like 3 a.m. And we got some crazy closing line value. Like Pacheco, like 13 picks after ADP, and his ADP is already suppressed because of the injury. Now you get positive news, and his ADP will rise a little bit. Yeah, I don't see him dropping behind Cook or Gibson. So, like, this is the cheapest you can get Pacheco right now. I think that's more important in Best Ball Mania 4, where the early drafters couldn't get him at this price. And we'll take whoever you don't want. He might go Kelsey too. He goes Hill. I think Hill's the clear pick before Cup, but that's just me. For me, like, the Rams still sort of scare me this year. They scare me more than Miami. Bijan at 6. Bijan is not falling. This is Trip. Welcome to the live stream. We're doing a $75 Pitbull where 120K goes to first place. Second gets 60K. That's still, it'd be fire. It's a 25-team final, which is very interesting about this tournament. Now, the advance rates are a little harsher to get to this 25. I believe it's 2 out of 12 advance from this room, weeks 1 to 14, to week 15, and then 2 out of 10, and then 1 out of 10. I believe that's the advance rates for this tournament. So it's thin, especially when you only get 10 entries. Yeah, that's right. 2 out of 12, 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10. But my God, if you can push through, the sweat this tournament would be with only a 25-team final, and you're getting 1,500, which is double your entry fee if you were to max it. 10 entries, $750. So I do like the layout of this one. Really hyper focusing on just advancing as many teams as possible in this. I think that's going to be the smartest way to go about it. Obviously, we're going for correlation. We're going for, betting on maybe cheap offenses that are depressed right now in price. But the most important thing when it comes down to this is just advancing as many teams as possible and making the pick that's going to help your team the most. Whereas in Best Ball Mania 4, you're typically going for upside, and that's okay. And the finals is 441 teams, so maybe you're finding ways to get unique in there just a little bit. For these tournaments, it's very simple for me. I play them a little more like a cash game. So, like, do you think these QBs are a value? Like, basically, I'm picking the value picks, in my opinion. Tony Pollard, Travis Kelce for Steph. This is an interesting start. Now, you can get Kelce at 5 or 6, and you can get Tony Pollard to fall here. Maybe just trying to raise the exposure to Tony Pollard. RB start for the 8 spot. I like this start. I like the A.J. Brown and Monroe. I'd be stoked. If that was our start. Dave, are you still trying to max every single Underdog tournament? I believe I saw him fill the slow puppy, which is 150 drafts. 150 slows. Sorry, Vic. I don't think you're getting Waddle back. Just going to be honest here. Exits. Is it bad? Is it really that bad? Maybe we'll give him Waddle. Let's go Derrick Henry. And then we're up in 8 picks, and I'd be cool if we got one of the elite QBs. I'd be cool if we got Stevenson or DK or Ridley. Yeah, the only reason I'm passing on Waddle there is because I also think Henry goes too late. If I had Hill, I would insta pick Waddle, and then obviously we're targeting Tua there. Here, up in 7 picks, maybe we set ourselves up for no, we don't. Ridley's ADP is just, it's insane. Just continues to rise. I think part of this is because of FOMO, just the fear of missing out, people not drafting him early in the offseason, and now people forcing their way to catch up. It's really that with the Twitter videos of him reaching out and making great catches. Like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Disgusting. 150 slows. I think he had over 200 going at the same time. I can't even imagine. Always on the clock. Always on the clock. It's like at some point it feels like a job. And my wife would kill me. My wife would kill me. Biggest edge and weekly winners, people no idea what they're doing. 100%. I agree with this. But you can only win 20K. You can only win 20K. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome to the live stream. I do like weeklies. Like, I'm mixing in a ton of weeklies. I think that we've done 50 so far. And if you've seen those streams, Eric, or if you haven't seen those streams that we've done on weeklies, you're going to want to take a peek at them. With Dooley data, I'd go back to the first one and then watch the second one. You want to focus. You want to focus Tua, though. Let's see what he does. We'll also go with Mark Andrews, and we could reach up for one of these guys. I've been scooping so much Taylor as of late. Like, I feel like I need to slow down a little bit. All right. I think we just go Josh Allen here. Let me take a peek. 44.53. Yeah, I don't see a huge negative. If I don't go Josh Allen here, I probably go Cooper. And then with my next pick at 44, I'm probably looking at DJ Moore if I'm trying to bring in Fields with my next one, but I don't think Fields makes it back to us at 53. And we get a little bit of value on Josh Allen here. Mahomes goes at 24. Jalen Hurts at 27. Now, like with this team, I don't feel that I 100% need Gabe Davis. I think I'd like him for this team, but I'm also cool with just grabbing one of the tight ends too. Yeah, Jason says good info on the weeklies. Absolutely, yeah, they were super, super helpful. Super helpful for me. And it's my channel. Like, that's awesome. Like, I love bringing people on that can help elevate my game, which can then help you guys. Like, that's what it's all about. Just consistently learning and trying to get better. And I learned a lot from that. But it's also applying it too. I think that's super important in knowing how to apply last year's data to the next season. This is sick. This dude's got to be jumping up and down. AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Mark Andrews at 35 paired with Lamar. Damn. Oh my God. And this is what happens in sharper rooms. Like, sometimes your stacks fall to you because other teams have their own build in mind. Yeehaw. I'd be jumping up and down. And now, 2 receivers here. Mike Williams off the board. I'm cool with one of these 2. And then basically probably looks like this, if I had to guess. Who do we believe in more this season? DJ Moore, who's been lighting it up in camp with Justin Fields, or Terry McLaurin? I think it's pretty close, to be honest, just due to quarterback play. Let's go Terry. I have a ton of DJ Moore. Let's go Terry. Sort of even out some of the exposures from the entry fee standpoint. Travis Etienne falling a couple picks. Pretty standard. Sick start from the 11. So sick. Two of my slows. I would Peter Overs and Pat Rain. Have fun. That's funny. Maybe they'll draft Kyle Pitts and you'll just get in. Sometimes a random draft spot can land you insane values and stacks. Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of pulling the right spot and having the crazies around you. Or, yeah, like Steph going Keenan Allen at 33, Christian Watson at 40. So, like, nothing super crazy there. I can't do the early Keenan Allen, but that's just me. Who else who got pulled up? Jahmyr Gibbs got pulled up. Nothing too insane. Just the stars aligned. It's basically what happened. Ooh, double elite QB by Chez. Gonna love to see how this team comes out. Cool. So we're getting one of these too, which was what we were hoping would fall to us. I'm cool with either or, to be honest. Ayuk would be a nice little mini with McLaurin. I have so much Ayuk. I don't think I can stop. I don't think I should stop. Never stop. So next pick is 68 and then 77. So 68, the range is sort of looking at QB's off the table. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This fallen to us pretty nicely. In no specific order. J.K. Dobbins not back at practice yet. I was watching Hayden Winks and they were talking, and Norris, and they were talking about Michael Pittman and his ADP slide right now. And it's pretty interesting that with bad quarterback play last year, Michael Pittman is being drafted at his value based on last year's stats, which obviously was a down year for him. But they're basically saying he's being drafted at his floor. I think that's interesting to note for Best Ball Mania 4, where he is the cheapest he's been since the opening of that tournament. So if you're worried about closing line value or you want to get in at the best price, I still see him fall in drafts. And I still think like you could put him behind this group here, like behind Dotson, in my opinion. But maybe we raise the exposure a little bit. I just think like if I'm targeting like Pittman, or if I know that I'm going to need to stack my receivers with my QBs, and maybe all my receivers are like T. Higgins and Burrow goes, Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts goes, and you already have to look at what your future stacks are going to be. I think that's okay. To be like, all right, I'm going to go Pittman and then try to go A-Rich. The tough part is like their ADPs are so far apart. And then Anthony Richardson can just be sniped by anyone. He's not the QB that really needs to be stacked. And for whatever reason, this freaking YouTube pop-out chat is not updating the chat. Super annoying. Nick is also wicked fun at parties. Super fun at parties. Says, if I'm in the 12 spot, I'm definitely denying the Lamar and Andrews stack out of spite. Sick man. Sick man. Let's go Dameon Pierce here. I think we're going Dameon Pierce. Fuck. I hate this. I don't really want to go Pierce. I want one of these three receivers. Let's go Pickens. I like Pierce. I don't know if I necessarily like having Pierce and Henry on the same team, playing each other twice in the playoffs. I do think that is a small knock on this team if we did that, having both RBs on other sides of the ball. Especially if it's a running game for Tennessee, running out the clock. And then Tennessee on top of that they gave up like 78 yards or 80 yards a game. It was the least amount in the NFL to opposing rushing teams. So that paired with, I'm cool with grabbing one of these running backs down here. Like, what would you rather? Would we rather Dameon Pierce and Zay Flowers? Or would we rather George Pickens and one of these RBs? Yeah, because Quentin Johnson wasn't making it back to us. So that's, and Zay Flowers might even go too. So we might even had to reach even further. So I think so far this is the right call. Okay, so James says he would rather Pierce and Flowers. I would personally rather this route, and we weren't even going to get Flowers. So that's the risk. If we let wide receiver go, look, huge run at receiver. We'd have to reach up for Treylon Burks. Would this be crazy? Like, I don't think so. Is Melvin Gordon the best last round click right now with Dobbins not practicing yet and Gus Edwards leaving today? Oh, man. I think you just got to go with your heart in this one. Three picks before ADP. I'm cool with that. I'd be stoked with this value. In a pity, I am playing this one a little differently, where I don't think that we have to really force it with players that are potentially hurt. Let's go, Terry. Good luck. Make sure you post that team afterwards in the Discord. I want to see how it turns out. So would we rather, if we go Dameon Pierce here, what combination do we like better? Dameon Pierce with Treylon Burks or George Pickens with James Conner? And I actually like Treylon Burks. Like, at his ADP right now, I'm completely fine with grabbing a depressed ADP Treylon Burks. 86. Steph start, the 0-1-5-1 start. Looking good. Looking very good. Waller went at 69. Been flying. He's been flying up the board. It's funny because when we're talking about Waller being a potential top 3 tight end finish this year, it doesn't do a whole lot to his ADP. But then when they go on and say it, like Norris and Hayden Winks, just forget about it. Just forget about it. I think it also took people realizing, like, oh shit, he's on the field and he's catching practice, like he's catching passes. He's not hurt. That was happening in OTAs. So we were a little ahead there, which is nice. This range gets interesting. This range gets interesting. Cortland Sutton off at 87. Elijah Moore off at 85. Deshaun Watson to the Cooper team. Where did Gabe Davis go? Gabe Davis went off the board at 66. Otherwise, this Pickens selection is likely a Gabe Davis pick. It's not a huge worry. Okay. I think this is just a Pacheco click. I think it's pretty easy for us, to be honest. Let's bring in Pacheco. Elite at receiver. Man, I like our RB room and the receivers. I mean, it's likely going to depend on Cup's health. I think you could say that for every single Cup team. Sneaking in these streams at work is probably the most plus EV thing you'll do today. I mean, maybe not for the company, but for your self-benefit. Nice. Nice. Tony slide continues. Let's see. Thomas. What would we want with our next pick? Because we could easily. Let's see. Let's see what Chez does first before we give up any ideas. The elite, double elite QB start in a $75 pity. I love it. Stones. Honestly thought he was going to double tap RB here. He brings in Michael Thomas. And then Gibson. Okay. Brian, fellow pounder in the 2 spot. What have you? Goes AJ Dillon. Takes away our security blanket. Just rips it right from underneath us. Let's see if JMO makes it back to us, huh? Let's see if JMO makes it back to us. JMO would be interesting for our team. We definitely have enough to get him through those 6 weeks. Oh, Njoku gone. We really wanted Njoku. We were putting up a little smoke shield there. 100%. Can't even lie. Can't even lie about it. Njoku off the board. But with that being said, now do we go, JMO? Our next pick's at 116. I do want one of these 2 tight ends, I think. Let's go Evan Ingram. I do want one of these 3 tight ends, we can say. I think it's weird that we don't discount Pat Freiermuth. And I brought this up on the Discord yesterday. I think it's weird that we don't discount Pat Freiermuth when they get a red zone addition in Darnell, Washington. There's no doubt he's going to have some sort of impact towards the end of the season in the red zone. He actually gets more expensive after the NFL draft, which I was still going to draft Pat Freiermuth. I like him at his ADP. I think he could still be a value, but I just wanted a discount. We didn't get it. But then we look at like New Orleans, right? I get it. It is more than just one guy there. It's more than just 2 guys there. But Juwan Johnson just keeps falling. And now you have Jimmy Graham joining the team. And everyone's like, Juwan Johnson's fallen to 200s. He's 36. He didn't play football last year. A lot of things going on there. So I've been buying the Juwan Johnson fall. I think he's actually my most owned tight end at this point. JMO off the board at 105 to Steph's team, and I think he fits really well because she has enough receivers to support him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 receivers at the time of the pick. Yet to draft a QB, but definitely has some options at QB too with these receivers. What's nice about our start too is like our second QB, they all go late. Staffy, Howell, Purdy, Pickett. So that gives us a lot of options on the back end here. George Kittle and Pitts to the 12 spot. Interesting. If you guys are just jumping in here, please go down, drop a like on the live stream. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before NFL kickoff. We'll be doing a 24-hour live stream. We have a free best ball draft guide in the Discord channel, free for the subscribers. Let me link that. Let's link the channel here. If you guys aren't in the Discord's so plus EV. It's not even funny. Alex asked, did Gus Edwards get hurt? Yeah, the injury is undisclosed still. I'm going to be following that one closely. Very, very closely. Underdog doesn't even have it on here. I like the Robinson pick in this range. Steph brings in Geno. That makes a lot of sense. Dave brings in Daniel Jones. I think that's a great move. Miko Collins goes. I don't have a ton of Juju. I think for good reason. Can I get Kincaid to come back to us? Two of these teams have tight ends. I think so. Let's bring in Juju here. He is a bring back in this game too. Not that I'm overly worried about bring backs, but okay. I think I know what we have a backup plan in case Kincaid goes. P. Ryan off the board. Khalil Herbert. One nut gets Rodgers. Does he have? This is the Garrett Wilson squad. Makes sense. A-Chain gone. A-Chain's probably... You probably have to rise him up a little bit in your rankings right now, just with the tentative news about Jeff Wilson until we figure out what that is for an injury. I just think that's a smart little tidbit that we should be doing. Harris off the board. Chez bringing it all the way down. He goes tank. Okay, so that was our backup pick. Not gonna lie, I thought he was safe at 135, 131. All right. We could go Dulcich too. But we would need, in my opinion, a third tight end for this team. I do think there is a, like for bye week bros type BS, when you talk about advance rates and 2 out of 12 teams advance, now it's personal. Now it's personal. Do we just go with Lazard? No, let's bring in Dulcich here. I'm going to need a third tight end anyways, so I'm not too worried about the same bye week. Definitely would have rather Kincaid. I think you can make the argument to stop it too. with Kincaid. We can also focus like Knox late, which is fine. Same bye week, so it kind of forces himself into a corner to go a third tight end too. I think that's interesting. Only having 4 receivers. We'll see how Vicky's team turns out. So we have Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco at receiver, Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Brendan Ayuk, George Pickens, Juju, and a tight end, Ingram and Dulcich. Like we're balanced. We're balanced. I would probably go Tank Bigsby over Dulcich here if Ches didn't reach up, but Ches is too sharp. Too sharp. You could hear a pin drop in this room. Jalen Warren off the board at 129 to Steph squad, who has DeAndre Swift and Tony Pollard. One nut going 3 QBs in a row. You could see a Marvin Mims reach up here at 135. Already has Sutton. And then could be targeting like Alec Pierce at 154. Darnell Mooney and Rondell Moore for the 12 spot. I like that double tap. He needed a double tap at wide receiver too. This kind of puts this team back on track. Charbonnet, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones. That's a lot of running backs. A lot of draft capital too. Rice off the board at 134. We'll see what he does with this pick. I think, okay, he just goes Schultz. Brings in his first tight end. Because if he wants Mims and he wants Pierce, he would have had to make a reach up here at this spot. Like you have to know Mims is not making it back to you, especially after ADP in this room. So maybe he's just completely fine with that. Already has Sutton too, so. Definitely a different team from us, but you're going to see that, especially in these types of drafts. Van Jeffy off the board. I like that click. Okay. I mean, probably going. I like the Algier click. Out with an abductor strain. Who cares? So we're up at what pick? 149. Teams in front of us, 3, 4 running backs, 5, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring in Mims. Don't expect him to come back to us. Trying to raise my exposure a little bit. And we have a soft bet on Denver with Dulcich already. Mingo off the board. The depth chart came out for Carolina too, and it showed Terrace Marshall, not a starter, which shouldn't be a huge surprise. Mingo, Chark, Adam Thielen. I still don't mind the Terrace Marshall click at the very back end of the drafts. But if you guys are just getting in here, we are doing the $75 Pitbull, 120K to first, 7,500 entries, and it's almost full, 85% full. This is our 7th one. And there's only one draft. I'm like, there's only one draft that got away from us. Happened on the live stream too. Max Payne. If Mitchell makes it back to us, we'll go Mitchell. If not, we have a backup plan. Yeah, well, that's sick. Sick value, especially for Chez's team that went hero running back build to be able to get falling value like this. Now it's really like he got Tank Bigsby 7 picks early, and then he got Tank. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like he got Elijah Mitchell 7 picks early if he picked Mitchell here. And then if he picked Bigsby here, it's like he got 14 picks of value. It's interesting. It's nice. Very nice. He's crushing it. I'm still cool with our RBs. Let's see. Let's see what Vic does. Okay. Finally, we didn't get sniped like 3 picks in a row. I think we can just go up and grab Singletary here at 156. Let's double think this. Yeah, like we're good at receiver. I think we put ourselves in a good situation. Now let me look back. If we go back to this pick, Mims. If we go Elijah Mitchell, would we rather Elijah Mitchell and DJ Chark or Alec Pierce? Or would we rather Mims and Singletary? I think you can make the argument for both. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. What's a more fun pick, Kincaid or Sam Laporta? I mean, they're both fun. I personally like Kincaid, but you can make the argument for both. 215 more subscribers from 1,000. So if you're watching this and not subscribed, it only takes 1 click. I appreciate you. Troutman listed ahead of Dolcic on the initial depth chart. Yeah, and the coach came out and said there should be a slash in between the two, so you can kind of tell how he views them 1A, 1B, rather than, clear 1-2. Bingo on Mingo, low key high on, Carolina. Derek Carr goes at 150. Gerald Everett, DJ Chark, Jordan Love to Steph's squad to pair with Watson. Thielen goes at 156, and Staffy goes. Is this a naked Staffy? Is this the naked Staffy team that you need to win? I was thinking Staffy was either going to go to our team or Dave's, but Dave had 2 QBs. I'm likely not going a second QB. I thought we easily could have pushed Staffy to 164, but he gets sniped. Now Kenny Pickett gets sniped. Oh, what is happening? What is happening? He pairs him with Freiermuth, but to have 3 QBs with Lamar is, I think, slightly minus EV. I like the Raheem Mostert click, especially with the Jeff Wilson injury news. We don't know fully what it is, but on a hero running back or a modified hero running back build, it makes a lot of sense here. Don't make me click Kendra Miller. Don't make me. I will do it. Don't. Dave's definitely going Kendra. Please click Kendra Miller. Someone save me. Someone save me. Oh, dear God. Please, God, dear, no. Oh, fuck. All right, let me peek ahead. This team's got 1 million QBs. This team's got Jalen Hurts. This team's got 1 QB. He does make sense here. He does make sense. Let's bring in Kendra. We get 18 picks of value on him. He's been falling, so it's not really like it's a full 18. But yeah, shit. It just makes too much sense. Even if he busts for our team, like it won't matter a whole lot. It won't matter a whole lot. Damn. So our next pick is at 173 and then 188. We're feeling it. We're feeling it. Receivers are flying off the board. Luckily, we're sitting pretty. We're sitting pretty at receiver. Rashid Shaheed with the groin injury. That one will really hurt the portfolio if he just keeps re-injuring that through the year. That would really, really hurt. I'll do it if you won't. Talking about Kendra, it's too much. You know you wanted Purdy there. So bad. So bad. I have a backup, though. Unless just everyone gets sniped again. But Kyler even becoming a huge value. 15 picks after ADP. I mean, the clear upside pick, right? Sean Johnson off the board. Yeah, Chez's running back room's looking good. It's looking good. These two teams have been stabbing me through the heart. Although I guess with Danny, it was just the Njoku click. The reach over Ingram, too, which I think is incredibly, incredibly sharp. So we did leave ourselves with a backup plan. Like, we could have gone Purdy or Knox. Now, which one would we prefer, to be honest? I mean, I think you can make the argument for both. It's 7. Let's go Purdy here with Ayuk. Either that or I was going to go like a late, like last round pick, like someone that doesn't even correlate, doesn't even matter. Like Desmond Ridder or something. Someone that could be a value. Ryan Tannehill, Sam Howell. If I don't go Purdy here, those are the 3 guys that I'm targeting. This is too close. And then like late round tight ends. Sure, we don't have the correlation with Josh Allen, but I don't think it's an enormous deal. We could always get Khalil Shakur, the piece you need. The piece you need. Yeah, been saying this for a long time. We could see the legendary 4 QBs from the 12 hole. Oh, yeah. I think you're going to have to. First QB Staffy, unstacked. Sure. You're playing it more like a cash game. Like, can you do this? You can. But if you're betting on Staffy, you're also betting on the pass catchers. So I think that one is, I want that more correlated. Like, I'd rather Kenny Pickett over Staffy. Staffy's going to have a more condensed offense. Kenny Pickett has pass catching running backs with Harris, Darnell Washington, the red zone, Pat Freiermuth, Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Allen Robinson, the ghost of Allen Robinson. Caught a touchdown today in practice. Still could be a red zone guy. And from what I've seen and heard, they're going to be trying him out more in the slot. Not that I'm drafting Allen Robinson, but it is another target for Kenny Pickett. Just that he can spread the ball and have a spike week and really not elevate a single player, positional player, to be optimal. Where Stafford, I think that's incredibly tough for him to be able to get there and not have a positional player have a huge week. So definitely an interesting team. Not happy, but this is what the fantasy football gods gave me for upside. Keep crushing it, man. Keep crushing it. Sometimes, especially when you're on the back end, you can get locked out at QB pretty easily. We're staying quiet. We're staying quiet. We have our fingers crossed. Juggernaut. Definitely needs a receiver, right? He goes Shakir. There goes one of our guys. It's going to happen in the last 3 picks, isn't it? Isn't it? There's no chance. There's no chance. Look at the Jerome Ford slide. 100%. You have 4 running backs. There's no doubt in my mind he's going Ford. Whatever. If he goes, I'll gladly take Juwan Johnson here. No way. Let's go. Let's go. Howl at the moon. Howl at the moon. That solidifies this group. We get the little Josh Allen correlation. We don't force it. Our running backs look good. I like the way his team shaped up. Let's go. Last pick, right? We got 2 picks left. This team doesn't even need 2 picks. This team doesn't even need 2 picks. I thought we just had 1. It looks that good. All right. We definitely need a receiver. We can go receiver, running back, or receiver. What's your guys' preference with this? For me, it's receiver, running back, and that would give us a 2-6-7-3 build. I'm also cool with leaning on these 3 running backs, though. Juggernaut is me. Fun but tough draft. Everyone click thumbs up to support the channel. I appreciate you, Tyler. Appreciate you drafting with us and coming out with us. Ross off the board. Hunter Henry here at 192. Ches. Man. I like it. I like it. He's definitely ending with the tight end. I would hope. McBride's back on the field practicing. He should definitely be ahead of his current ADP. Chase Brown off the board. For us, it's one of these 2. It's one of these 2. Probably lean Slayton. I think it is funny, though, how, yeah, we can bring in Slayton here for this little mini with Cooper Kupp. But every time Rodgers was in an interview where he's asked about his pass catchers, if he's excited about the new offense, he always names McCole Hardman before Garrett Wilson. Is that a small nugget, or is that just absolutely nothing? Michael Wilson's a nice click at the end. Puka's a nice click at the end. Tank Dell. Demario Douglas for the Pats has been crushing camp. But he's basically Tank Dell, just drafted 3 rounds later in the NFL draft. I think Tank Dell has a better chance just in Houston to get on the field, whereas Patriots are pretty muddy. Like, you have a lot of options. Juju, Parker, Bourne, Tyquan Thornton, and then Douglas. I don't know. In play style wise too, I'd prefer Tank, who just plays bigger than his 5'9" size. McCole Hardman off. Joshua Kelly here to Dave. Love to see that. Pairs it with Herbs. So our last click, let's see if there's anyone we even like left at running back. Or if it's just going to be a receiver click. The Staffy team better go Puka. Yeah, okay. Nice. Good work. Good work. I like that. I like that. And Stroud. Okay, Dwayne McBride off the board. I think it's interesting the Ty Chandler truthers have sort of faded away. There is a struggle between the RB2s in camp right now. Hmm. Interesting. We can just go a Richie James click. I feel like that's so easy. Richie James, Matt Collins. I just don't love any of the running backs left. I still think there's a chance that Dallas brings in another running back. Generic Prince is interesting. It just seems like they hate CEH. Seems like they hate CEH. I'll still make these clicks, but I already have them on other Pitbull teams. I don't want to go too heavily invested in these running backs that might be zeros. I would still probably rather this pick to be a running back, but I'm not going to put it on someone I don't like. Maybe Zeke there. Do we just go Zeke with that click? I know it's gross, but pick 171. I don't have a lot of exposure. Maybe that was the one time and my Zeke bias got in the way. Was that the one time I should have clicked Zeke? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let's review these teams. Let's see how they came out, because that was definitely a Pounders draft. So definitely a little tougher than normal, but I like the way our team shaped out, I think. Ches in the one spot, Mahomes and Fields at tight end, Komet, Henry, and Jelani Woods, Stevenson, Gibson, Harris, Tank Bigsby, Mitchell, and Johnson. I like the RB room, like the QBs, obviously. You needed that third tight end. It's still a little weak at tight end. Wide receivers, Jefferson, DJ Moore, Dotson, Johnson, Michael Thomas, Jaden Reed, and Ross. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Definitely wide receivers a little on the weaker side. I just think having... Yeah, but you're led by Justin Jefferson. I think that's fine. It's more the tight ends. But it's tough. It's tough to make a 2 elite QB team work and for me to love it. So it's not a huge surprise there. Burrow and Tannehill, I'm probably stopping with these 2 QBs. Brian brings in Sam Howell, Higbee, Okonkwo, and Juwan Johnson. I'm fine with these 3 tight ends. Pierce, Akers, Dillon, A-Chain, and McKinnon. I'm good with this group. Attacking Pierce and Akers as your first 2 RBs, I think, is pretty nice. He gets Chase and Higgins, Metcalf, Hopkins, Tony, John Mechie, and Curtis Samuel. Yeah, I like this team a lot. I don't know if the Sam Howell click was needed. It's just a single stack. Maybe it was best available. Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray at 171, Njoku, and McBride. This is interesting. This interesting duo. I think it's possible to work, but McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Khalil Herbert, and Jeff Wilson, getting him 17 picks after ADP is nice, especially when an injury's undisclosed. Don't know the severity of it. Yeah, you're assuming some risk, but you could also be getting a pretty nice value. And let's say he's hurt. You're still pretty good with this team, right? McCaffrey, you're hoping gets in the lineup all 3 weeks that Kamara's out on suspension. Khalil Herbert and Joe Mixon kind of filling in there for those 3 weeks. I think it's possible. And then you don't even know if Jeff Wilson's going to miss time. Then you get Kamara back week 4, and we'll see what that role looks like. Ridley, Johnson, Addison, Flowers, Myers, MVS, DPJ. The receivers are kind of doo-doo. Vicky Vic in the 4 spot, Tua and Dak, Waller, Kincaid, and Ferguson, ETN, Walker, P. Ryan, Spears, Chase Brown, and Malik Davis. I think it works. Hill, Waddle, Debo, Cooks, Mingo, Osborne, Rashid, Shaheed. This Kincaid pick stabbed me in the heart. But I do like how you bring in the duo with Cooks and Ferguson for Dak. You get Malik Davis in there too. A little Dallas correlation. Us with Allen Purdy, Ingram, Dolchich, and Knox. Henry, Connor, Pacheco, Singletary, and Kendrick Miller. 18 picks after. Cooper Kupp, McLaurin, Ayuk, Pickens, Juju, Marvin Mims, Slayton, and Richie James. I like our team. Dave in the 7 spot, Herbert and Jones. I like that pairing with Goddard, Everett, and Musgrave. JT at 31, Dave Montgomery, Penny, Foreman, Ford, and Kelly with Diggs, Smith, Williams, Gabe Davis, Alan Lazard, Van Jefferson, and Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, I like the wide receiver room. I think it works. But if Diggs and Gabe Davis both have a good game, I think that means the Josh Allen team takes the cake. So I have a tough time bringing in both those players on the same team, but 25-team final, you would probably just need maybe Gabe Davis advances a low advance rate, Stephon Diggs, something like that. Could be the narrative for this team. Juggernaut was in the live stream. Watson, Kirk, and Desmond Ridder. I like this trio. Hawkinson and Irv Smith. Eckler, Barkley, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams, and Zamir White. I like this crew. a lot. Starts RB here. We'll see what the receivers look like. Amari Cooper, London, Evans, Sky Moore's wide receiver 4 is always a tough look for me. But Dobbs, DJ Chark, Khalil Shakur, and Michael Wilson. Yeah, you definitely needed 8 receivers. Strong at tight. You have the elite tight end. I think it's tough to go elite tight end when you start RB. That's just my personal thought on that. But the team looks well balanced. Steph in the 9 spot, 3-4-9-2. And Geno Smith, Love, and Young. Kelsey and Hurst. Tony Pollard, Swift, Warren, and Mostert. Wow. Really fragile. Like bull in a china shop. This RB room, a little thin. Keenan Allen, Christian Watson, Godwin, Lockett, Burks, Jameson Williams, Gallup, Renfro, and Marshall. I think you can get rid of these 2 picks or get rid of the Renfro pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you have floor, right? You have floor. You have ceiling. You have something in between. You have ceiling, and you have Gallup. Burks, Lockett, Godwin, Watson, and Allen. You have 6 receivers for the first 6 weeks. In week 7, you're gaining a 7th receiver back. I think you could definitely, at the very minimum, make the Hunter Renfro pick a running back. But maybe she went on auto. Who knows? One Nut, I don't think was in the live stream. I think the 12 spot was and the 11 spot was. Let me know, One Nut, if you're in here. Lamar Jackson, Goff, and Pickett. I like this trio, but I'm probably not going a third QB, especially 14 picks before ADP. With Lamar, you have your ceiling guy. You have Goff, who's a good floor play, but he actually spiked into top 3 QBs last year 4 times. So I do like him at a value. Andrews, Freiermuth, and Sam Laporta. I don't think you need Sam Laporta here either, but let's see how the rest of the team looks. Sanders, White, Cook, Kareem Hunt, and Dwayne McBride. So yeah, the Kenny Pickett pick at 158 definitely should have been spent, in my opinion, at running back. A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, Marquise Brown, Tyler Boyd, Rice, Campbell, and very thin at receiver. So you can kind of see you're sacrificing 2 picks here, in my opinion. One should be at running back, one should be at receiver. And then the 12 spot, Stafford, Mac Jones, and CJ Stroud, George Kittle, and Pitt, so double elite tight end. Chubb, Breece Hall, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, and Zach Charbonnet. I'm cool with the RB room. Definitely cool with the RB room. High upside. QBs, light. And then wide receivers, Lamb, Judy, Moore, Darnell Mooney, Rondell Moore, Adam Thielen, Parker, and Nakua. Not the sexiest group, but again, double elite tight end teams are going to look a little less sexy. So maybe relying on them to get into the flex a little more. And then starting 3 receivers, it could be possible with this group. It's more the QBs that look a little rough. But yeah, that was definitely a fun one. And it's always fun to draft against the Pounders because you guys are staying up to date with all this. And it's definitely more competition in this room. This is hilarious. Is Pitt's really elite? He was his rookie season. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to be probably around 5% Pitts this year. Your team is missing AJ Dillon. I know. Who stole Dillon from us? Was it Brian? Brian. 3-day ban from the Discord. Guaranteed. Guys, I do appreciate you coming out with us, watching this, drafting with us. We're going to have Justin Herzig on the channel tomorrow night for a draft. Hope to see you all there. Pounders.